Okay, so we've covered how GX Cloud came to be. We have seen what it looks like today, and we've heard about what it's like to use. So now I'm going to bring up Hernan. Hernan, what can Altruist and everyone else here look forward to seeing in GX Cloud next?
Great, thank you very much, Amali, and thanks a lot to Stavin and Abe and Rachel and Evan and everyone else that did a great job on the presentation beforehand. I'll tell you a little bit about myself and then where we're going. I think importantly, I joined the company about 15 months ago, and I joined for really three pretty important reasons. One was the reality of the data quality problem and how it's impacting in businesses' ability to take advantage of one of their most valuable assets. I saw it firsthand. I have about 30 years in the business and in large scale data-enabled applications, cloud services, and most importantly, in the last three organizations I was in were all AI and ML product companies. And we saw time and time again that data scientists were spending way too much of their time, 70% of their time, focusing on managing the data rather than building models. So when the opportunity came up to talk to Great Expectations, it was really exciting because I was like, I'm seeing this firsthand. And the next was the team. As you saw from the folks that have presented so far today and folks that you've interacted with in the community as a part of our developer relations and developer advocate team, it's an amazing team that's really dedicated to this space and to the community. And so that was just another great aspect for me to join the team. And the last most important thing is the community. Coming in from the outside and seeing the vibrant community, as you saw from Abe, about the number of contributors and users and the downloads, it really validated the space that we're in. And being able to get as close to customers like Altruist is really important for us to be able to build a product. So leveraging what we learned from the community over the last year and customers like Altruist, they told us four major things that they wanted to see inside of a SaaS application. We already had Great Expectations, the open source product that was solving real problems in the context of open source. But what does that look like in a cloud SaaS application? Well, this is what it looks like and what you saw earlier from the demo. It's being able to have things like fully managed data sources and assets through the UI. Being able to leverage both an agent that can run external to your current environment or inside of the data center, as well as being able to leverage an open source Python library, being able to do self-service account creation, using social login, and then having a rich set of guides that get you started and get you and keeps you going to make sure that you're successful with the product. And then as you heard from Stavin, collaboration is key, right, to being able to have a successful data quality initiative inside of an organization that really spans the organization. So having UI and agent-based workflows that allow everyone to be able to update and manage those expectations and revalidate them, and being able to share links out and visualize that data over time, and really being able to understand the health of those data assets. And importantly, we have to be able to scale up the assets scale up the expectation covered on the assets you have today. So you saw in the demo column descriptive metrics, and that's enabled by a metric store that is going to be leveraged in the roadmap as I get into that space. Being able to pick the most popular expectations directly in the app and apply them to the data, and being able to either use a UI to edit it or use JSON, all around those critical data quality use cases that we see. And then importantly, trust and reliability. We're obviously a part of the data quality inside of your organization, data quality initiative inside your organization, and making sure that we have the necessary certifications and infrastructure operational practices to be able to give you the trust that you can rely on Great Expectations. So we focused on our SOC 2 type 2 certification, an entire trust center that is doing continuous verification of our trust and privacy principles, and then the operational controls that give you the confidence in uptime and supportability of that product. But let's talk about what's coming up in the next few months. Learning what we learned from the great community, our beta users, and what you saw here today, we wanted to focus on a couple of key areas. One of which is confidence in your coverage. We want to make sure that it's easy for you to connect to the data that matters most to you and rapidly deploy comprehensive tests with interactive discovery tools that build confidence, as well as building now on that trust in your data. So because you can see all the tests, you can see the history, you can see the size and the shape of the data and deal with the priority and health over time, the organization is gaining trust in that data. And then, of course, we know that things do go wrong, and they will go wrong. Upstream providers will change schemas, applications will change, the data will change. You need to be able to deal with those incidents as they come up with tools and supporting tools that make it easy for the organization, the team, to be able to react to those. If you remember what Abe talked about in how data testing changes different from software testing, really important to focus there. And then being able to tie it in with the ecosystem and make it easy to integrate, make sure that we're covering the IT systems internally that makes it so it follows your IT security policies and procedures. And what this really looks like over the next few months, in confidence in your coverage, we're going to be expanding the data source support. So today we're offering Snowflake and Postgres, cloud native. We have a list of potential candidates. We'll want your feedback there. I'll come back to that later. As well as being able to add assets and add them in bulk, make it very, very easy to scale up. And then expanding that set of expectations. You saw a comprehensive set of our most popular expectations in the demo today. We're expanding that. So, and that's just gonna give you the confidence that you have the data that you want to connect to, and with the assets, with the expectation coverage you need. That's gonna build the trust and data. We're also going to be leveraging some of the metric store I talked about earlier, as well as some interesting technology that's going to allow us to be able to preload some of these schemas and make really intelligent recommendations around how you can improve the outcomes with your testing, and make sure you are testing the things that matter most to you. Looking at that data asset trend over time, and then as well scheduling validations. So there's a lot, as you saw in the demo, a lot of folks have an orchestrator or a scheduler already selected. It's sometimes they don't, and we want to make sure that people are able to work that workflow end to end, make sure they can schedule it. So we'll be delivering a scheduler as a part of that. And then coming around to incident response, having easy to configure Slack notifications with easy to configure notification severity to make sure those incidents are getting to the people that matter most, that can actually resolve that particular data asset. And then retry, and then the retry logic. Today it's a fire and forget in a lot of implementations. What we want to be able to do is retest that data. It's not just try and fail once, be able to retest that. So that's coming in as a part of that. And then, as I talked about earlier, the ecosystem, making sure that we can tie into the IT systems that matter most to the customers and make it easy to deploy inside of an organization. And then finally, the last thing is cloud-to-cloud data source connection. Today, we connect to data sources either through the Python library, the agent, but not directly from the cloud. That's going to be a focus for us for those customers that can actually connect from cloud to cloud. So that'll come up in the next couple of months as well. So I just gave you a lot that talk about confidence and trust and incident response and integrated ecosystem. We want your feedback. We had a great beta rollout last year. We got lots of feedback from our customers. We're expanding that. We have 3 links here. We have Discourse at the top, which is an interactive board that you can post questions. Those questions become durable, so people can look up those answers. We have our product team on the product feedback email link. You can engage directly with our product team there. And then lastly, we have a survey that I think is going to, and all these links will be posted into the chat there. We have a survey that we're going to ask you to fill out that's going to help us learn even more about what would make Great Expectations really successful for you inside of your organization. So again, thank you very, very much for attending today. Thank you for everything that you've done as a community and helped us learn and grow. I'm just really, really, really happy, and this is great. So I'm done. Molly, can I hand it back to you?
You sure can. Okay, so first of all, it's very exciting. Thank you so much for sharing, Hernan. And as Hernan mentioned, we have a survey. I'm going to go ahead and remove you, Hernan, and instead show the survey you mentioned.